This podcast is for pure entertainment. Our thoughts and views, man, they're not to be taken serious. If we hurt your feelings, then maybe you should stop being so soft. We don't want no smoke with anyone for voicing our opinions, bro. Please, 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 please. We are all pussy. All of us. Welcome to the Iceberg Lounge. I hope you enjoy this just as much as we did making it. You did.
Right on, right on, right on.
Here, we are here.
So, how was everybody's weekend?
Good.
Amazing.
Yeah?
Amazing. Yeah. Good family time. Yeah.
Man, that's always important. That's always important. Like, is your family local?
Yeah. Well, nah. Yes and no. Yes and no. At this point, I have three separate families I move with. My wife who passed in 2020, who I have my original three children with. Her family stays out like in Banning, Beaumont area, so like
My
Riverside.
brother lives out there.
Yeah, so they stay out there, and then my family is Pop's side is mostly here. Some of Mom's side's here, and then the rest are in Tijuana. And then my current girlfriend, her family stays out here. So I get a lot to enjoy.
For sure, for
Tapping
sure.
in with everybody in different times. It's
Yeah.
always a beautiful thing.
Man, absolutely. I'm sorry to hear about your wife. Bro.
Yeah,
Couldn't even
yeah,
imagine that, man.
Yeah, it was tough, man. It's the worst card you could get dealt, in my opinion. I mean, probably aside from maybe losing a child, God
Sure.
forbid. But yeah, it wasn't easy. I'm very thankful for the support system that I got. My
Yeah.
current girlfriend now for keeping me afloat, because I was definitely down.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, shout out to the
Yeah. Shout out to the support system.
Yeah,
Everybody.
absolutely.
Yeah, man.
How long were you guys married for?
I was with her since I was 13 years old. So from 13, I met her at 12. She dated a homie of mine in junior high when she
Right.
moved from, she was actually from Brawley, California. And then I met her at Rio de Valle Junior High in El Rio. And yeah, she's just when you get a new kid at school and everybody's just so accustomed to everybody else.
Yeah.
Everybody's like, oh, the new girl.
For sure.
But yeah,
for
she was
sure.
cool. She was a cool homie at first, good friend. She just landed in my friend circle and dated one of my friends. I dated one of hers. She convinced me to date one of her close friends that she
Yeah.
met here because she had a pool. She's like, hey, you should date my friend. She wants to date you. She's got a fucking pool. And I was like, being in 7th grade, you're like, all right, sick.
Yeah, for
it's
sure.
really-
But- No, and then once we you do that whole switch into high school and everybody goes to separate high schools now.
Yeah.
Her and I landed at Pacifica. And yeah, we just hit it off at the freshman football games, man, and the rest was
tight.
history.
That's tight.
So yeah, I was with her. We had our first child at like 17. She was 18. When I turned 18, we got married, and then she passed when we were like 28, 29. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, it's a beautiful journey. There's times where you can switch shit up and adjust, or you might deal with some regrets. But at the end of the day, your journey's your journey. You can't change what's in what's in
Right.
the cards for you.
Right, yeah,
Yeah.
enough said, man.
You gotta
enough
just
said.
learn from that shit and hopefully help you grow and prosper into a better human being.
I second that, bro. I second that because suffering from a loss like that, I mean, I feel like it could either make you bitter or it can help develop a
Yes.
great sense of compassion in you
Yeah.
for others who suffer
Yes.
to that extent.
Yeah, it's like my pops told me, it's like you can use the situation as an excuse and as a crutch to do a bunch of fucked up
Right,
shit
right.
and continue to run into like a dark tunnel that don't got no way out, or you can use it as a fuel to give validation to the life and to the
Yeah,
her not being here. Like, who would I be to give the kids more pain versus lift them up and just get nastier as a person and build an empire from all the pain and suffering. But yeah, man,
you said your pop said that?
yeah, my pops told me
Wise
that.
man, yeah,
Yeah,
wise
shout out
man.
to
Shout
Pop.
out to pops for sure,
Yeah,
for sure.
he and I, we butt heads, but he's always had great intentions.
Sure.
You know,
Absolutely.
Man,
and
I feel that.
I had to learn that as time passed, that a lot of it was just my selfishness fighting it.
Yeah.
You know, he was never really wrong.
I feel you on that.
Yeah. I think a lot of us do. I think a lot of us do that. That have pops that are a little on the tougher love side.
Right.
Versus, you know, you got a lot of new wave people where, you know, they're finding out that disciplining your children with a lot more love works as well.
Right.
But sometimes not the case. Sometimes you give them too much leeway and, you know, you give them feet and they take the street. Like, yeah. Mm-hmm. You give them a slice of cake and they wanted the whole motherfucker.
The whole thing.
Nigga
The whole
already
thing.
spit.
Straight up.
Nigga already spit.
Spitting.
What's
But
up,
yeah.
my brother?
What's up, man?
What's up,
It's
gang?
a pleasure to be here.
It's a
man.
pleasure to have
Yes,
you. For real,
sir.
for real. It's a pleasure. I don't know where we started, but we
I can
here.
tell you.
No, we good.
Oh, okay.
It was just potting. You know, I heard it. I heard good.
We just potting.
Just potting. But yeah, welcome to the Iceberg Lounge.
Thank you, man.
This is
Cheers to you guys.
Cheers, man.
Cheers,
Thank you for
brother.
coming.
Cheers.
Yeah, no doubt.
I go by the name Uno. To my right, Phyllis Driller. To
Yes,
his
sir.
right, Sydney, Sid, and the motherfucker. Her right, my man June the Man. We got a very, very special guest with us. Very, very, very special. Somebody that as soon as I always say this, but this is actually true shit. When I came into the scene, because I'm not really from here, but when I came into the scene, everybody always had something to say about certain artists. And so
Yeah.
I would always be like, okay, who's the fire artist in the city? Like, okay, who's who? I need to know who's who. I need to peep who's who, because I'm a connoisseur of music. So I'm always big on like, okay, know who's the artist that you're trying to reach the city of, so that you can pay respects and then go from there.
Yeah.
So everybody would always just throw out certain names. So I'm like, man, I don't want to hear none of the cap. Who's the niggas? Like, I need to know who's the niggas, because at this time we were doing Lucky Summerfest. Like, that's how we came into the scene.
Yep.
That's
I
how we
remember
wanted.
that. I
Yeah,
remember
that's how
that,
we
sir.
wanted to bring the whole thing up. So everybody was like, who's the niggas? I was like, who's the niggas? Who's the niggas? They would name me a bunch of lists, and I'm like, no, cut that. Who's the guys? And it came down to two names: Cyrilus and Izzom.
Yeah, much love.
And I'm like, okay, what the fuck and who the fuck is it Izzom, right? I need to get hit.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, boom. So this is like 20, when we did the first one,
21.
21.
21.
Yeah.
Yeah, you could. David James was on that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I remember that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it was like 21. And I was like, okay, who's gonna headline this shit? So now we looking at all the artists that sent in submissions, and then your names popped up. So I'm like, is it because you like him as an artist, or is he actually dope? Because I don't really be looking at fan base like that. Because fan base is gonna be, it is what it is.
It is.
But they were like, nah, like he's really, really fire.
Yeah.
So I asked OG, because I heard at this time I'm scoping his album, putting the album together, putting the track list together,
Yeah.
and y'all songs on there. So I'm like,
The faded joint.
yeah. So I'm like,
That shit was
at
crazy.
first I'm like, nah, cut all the features out. I don't know none of these niggas, cut them off. And so he like, nah, I'm not cutting off
cutting
this
Izzom.
one. I'm like, nah, we gonna cut it off, because I haven't even heard it. I'm
Yeah.
like, nah, we gonna cut it.
Yeah.
And he like, bro, just listen to the song and then we'll go from there.
Yeah.
Nigga, your verse came on, bro, and I literally was like, who's this? And they was like, nigga, it is the nigga we was talking about. And I'm like, oh, this nigga can go. Like, oh, he can actually rap. So for a minute, I've just been a fan from the background. I'm a prideful nigga too. So
I
once
appreciate it,
so
man.
I
I
hit
appreciate
niggas up
it.
like, hey yo, do the Summerfest, and shit happened. Niggas couldn't do it, whatever. I was just like, I'm gonna just be a fan from the background, because
Yeah.
I love what the niggas doing. Like, you had your whole live when your debut album came out. You had
Yeah.
a whole
Yeah, the
joint,
live
bro.
band
It's a
shit.
long ass intro, bro. But
Nah,
without further ado, bro, one of the hardest lyricism storytellers, when it comes to just being on a mic, period. I don't
Thank
even
you,
want to
man.
just
Thank you.
classify it as 805 shit. Because
Right,
that shit is just
right.
ceilings
That's
us.
facts.
Like, this nigga is really, really hard. Like, I've been all over the world listening to all different artists.
Yeah.
And there's not a tone, a sound, a storytelling vibe that you get when you listen to other niggas' music. And that's just the realest shit.
Yeah.
So,
Thank you, man. I
we got
appreciate
Inzom in
it.
this
I appreciate
motherfucker.
it.
Welcome,
Much
welcome,
love,
welcome,
much
welcome, welcome.
What up? What up?
Welcome to the Iceberg Lounge, brother.
And
man.
low key faded too wasn't even like my strong suit. Like I kind of was like, man, I'm gonna fuck this song up for
Right.
him, just because David James also has a beautiful versatility to him. But at that point in time, he like when I approached the song, I'm like, damn, I don't know how I'm gonna write this verse because I've never attempted it. So he actually challenged me to better myself because I had never done no shit
That's
like
all
that.
sure.
You know,
Yeah.
That's so,
Yeah.
but
that's
yeah,
so
man,
lit.
I love the song, and he and I have been. I got him on the Requiem, which was my debut album,
Yes, sir.
and he killed that shit. So I'm excited to keep working with that fool.
Nah, that shit was
We overdue. He ain't
Fire.
been hitting me lately. I'm gonna have to beat him up. He's like, oh, we gonna do the faded video soon, bro. Soon, bro. And nothing.
Bro, it's been years,
David,
bro.
you better hurry up, bro.
Hurry up.
I'm gonna play that joint real
That's
quick
so
before
funny,
we
bro.
Yeah,
before we
man.
get into it.
Yeah, David James is dope.
For sure.
Kylo going crazy. Heartbreaks feel better when I'm faded. That blunt hit better when I'm faded. Tell you how it is when I'm faded. It might sound better when I'm faded. Heartbreaks feel better when I'm faded. That blunt hit better when I'm faded. Tell you how it is when I'm faded. It might sound better when I'm faded. Sipping on this jack. I might have a problem, but it's okay, I'll adapt. Hit me when you need me, but I pull up where you at. I try to let you go, but you know I can't do that. Cause everything better when you on my side. I use it when I'm low, when I use it when I'm high. I pull you up for all my brothers living in the sky. Remind me of my papa when I'm looking in your eyes on. Hey, don't try to run from me. Yeah, I'm blinded by your love, baby, I can't see. A 12 pack, 2 bottles, and an 8 OG. That shit lean when I swerve, only got 2 seats. Like, are you playing voodoo? You want a new dude? Go and get it, I ain't tripping on what he do. Yeah, I'm doing great, see I'm doing better. So farewell to all the hoes trying to get me set up. Heartbreaks feel better when I'm faded. That blunt hit better when I'm faded. Tell you how it is when I'm faded. It might sound better when I'm faded. Heartbreaks feel better when I'm faded. That blunt hit better when I'm faded. Tell you how it is when I'm faded. It might sound better when I'm faded. Yeah. Look, forgive me if I'm slurring, if I'm in my feelings. Just need to be around you cause I'm losing realness. You know you hold the truth, wanna hold you close. You never wanna judge me when I need you most. Feel the warmth in your body, press it up on my chest. Love, sex, arguments, honestly, you know me best. Don't need nobody replacing you, ain't no lie. Filling me up inside, no chaser, and that's a vibe. Open-minded shit, you keep me righteous. Your spirits keep me humble when I feel like wildin'. And yeah, we had our moments, always led to fighting. Regardless of the darkness, you the beam, I'm lighting. So fuck all that he say, she say. The blase, we replay. They say that you bad for me, but I pay them no mind. I'd rather be faded with you every day of my life, and that's love. Heartbreaks feel better when I'm faded.
Slight work.
Yeah.
Slight work. Something light pack. All right, let's get into this bull. Where you from, brother?
I'm born and raised in Oxnard, California.
Hey.
I was raised on the El Rio side of things. And then my parents ended up buying a crib in College Park right there. I don't know if y'all are familiar with Relindo Park. It's across from Pacifica in the older crib. So, shout out College Park, shout out El Rio. And then my grandma, she's out in Colonia. So I got a little taste of all the sides right there. But yeah, born and raised in Ox. Been here all my life pretty much.
Fire.
And then once I had my children, we wanted to raise them out by the beach in Ventura, so we moved to the Avenue.
That's right.
And I raised the majority of the time with the kids when they were children in the Avenue in Ventura.
Oh yeah, that's fire. How
Cool.
many kids you got, bro?
I got 3 and 4 now with my stepchild. So,
Oh,
yeah,
That's
all
tight.
boys. I got
boys.
16, 14, 13, and 12.
All boys.
All boys, all boys for real.
That's a platoon,
Full
my
boys
boy.
for sure.
But yeah, man. Honestly,
Full brothers.
that movie goes hard.
That's one of the
Yes,
ones,
sir,
bro.
yes,
But
sir.
now, like no cap, they're dope as fuck. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like
man.
they keep me young. You know, they play sports. We be skating every other day. And honestly, I couldn't ask for a better bunch.
That's tight,
Yeah,
bro.
they're-
Happy for you, man.
Yeah,
that's cool.
man.
That's
That's
cool.
fire.
They
sure.
solid. They
That's
solid.
What are some of your goals when it comes to this music shit, bro?
Honestly, I just want to be able to not have to report to a 9 to 5. You feel me? Like I don't see myself making millions. Like I think that's the ultimate fucking goal for people. But I don't really give a fuck that much. Like, you know, as long as I could live a comfortable life and give my family everything that they need
Yeah.
off of these royalties and being in the studio with people and getting joints on movies and shit like that, like I'd be content. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
I love the craft. I love the artistry side of it. I love, you know, working with new people and experimenting with new sounds. That like I'd be cool just paying my fucking bills and making joints.
I respect
Yeah,
that,
yeah,
bro.
I
Straight
feel
up.
you on that.
Yeah. I don't think I have the aspect of like the crazy limelight shit. You know, maybe like in a sense of like I grew up on like Dilated Peoples and Alchemist and hitting their shows. Like Alchemist to me, you know, is fucking done everything. And when you look at that, like you get to a point where like the talent and the work ethic deserves that amount of money.
Absolutely.
So
Yep.
hopefully I land in those categories at a point in time. You know what I'm saying?
That's real.
But yeah,
good
I
goal.
mean, there's I don't really got a fucking plan B, so it's
It's this
Feel
or
you.
nothing.
That's
I didn't
right.
have plan Bs with children. I don't got plan Bs with this shit.
Bars.
That's a bar.
But
Gro-
yeah, man.
If you can describe your life growing up in one word, what would that be?
It was loving. It was loving. It was.
That's great,
Yeah,
man.
man. Honestly, I don't have complaints of my childhood.
Yeah.
I think any of the struggles that I dealt with going into like my young youth, you know, having a family young, you know, those are all self-inflicted things. Like my
Right.
childhood was dope. I still kick it. My best friend, shout out to Bear Daniel, that like I've known him since I was 4 years old.
Right.
Like that's
dope, man.
still my homie. Like I be at the beach with him every Sunday
Chilling.
at Solomar, every Sunday partying and enjoying shit with our families.
Right.
Like all my childhood friends are mostly still around, and our parents all held it down, and I'm grateful for that shit because a lot of people don't get that opportunity.
Right.
But you know, a lot of my strife and struggle and pains, you know, as I came out of my adolescence and into my adulthood was self-inflicted. You know, I was writing graffiti, you know, hanging out with fools that were painting or ended up
Right.
gang banging,
Yeah.
doing drugs, brewing it, you know, shit like that, getting in trouble with the law. All that shit comes from whatever you are
Self.
doing to
Where you
yourself.
Decide to
Man.
put yourself. Yeah.
But yeah, as far as the come up, it was magnificent. Yeah,
You know-
zero complaints. Maybe the only thing would be like mom and dad did have to work a lot, so they were gone. So like a lot of my soccer games and championship games and stuff,
Yeah.
like they couldn't.
Yeah.
I played soccer a lot growing up, and we used to really get dubs. Like a lot of moments where I had a crowd cheering for a final penalty
Right.
goal winning shot. They weren't there for it, you know.
yeah.
Sometimes moms would, pops was always working. Like that shit kind of sucks.
Sure,
But aside from that, you know, it was great. Yeah.
Do you think that this is off quo? Do you think that has a piece to do with wanting the admiration from? Okay, so for example, growing up, my parents same way, right?
Yeah.
Always working, wasn't at like I didn't do. My parents never went to senior night. Like
Yeah.
I was just by myself at senior night, walking by
Right.
myself. Where everybody had their kids and shit.
Yeah.
And I was nice, nigga, all American, everything.
Yeah.
Like nice. But pieces of it kind of is why I
Rebelled, maybe.
looked not. Don't give a fuck if people give me admiration or praise.
Helps with
Validation.
that,
Validation.
Yeah, that actually, I've never really thought about it. I
Like,
never put it in that aspect.
Because I see kind of like similarities when it comes to like, all right, because your answer in describing where you see your goal, like what your end goal in this whole thing, is different than most people,
Right.
and that
Yeah.
comes from
Right.
the understanding of I don't give a fuck.
You got humbled early.
You got humbled early. You know what I mean? So it's fuck whatever. I'm gonna do it for myself, right?
Yes.
Do you feel like that comes from that?
I do, and then I think it also comes from maybe a more in-depth look of like when you do have people close to you that pass, a lot of the material shit don't really matter no more. You know what I'm saying? Like for me, the music shit, like with Carmela, my wife, like we used to do the music shit together. So like all the underground hip hop shows that we would go hit to go see Evidence, Alchemist, all these different artists, go cop like, you know, when Doom dropped Born Like This, I remember the drive to go pick it up, like with her whipping, like all those things. Like she had a belief in me, which is why I don't stop what I do. Because that would be time wasted. You know what I'm saying? When I'm like, if someone sees you in a certain light, you want to carry that light through to the furthest potential. Yeah. But in that aspect, she also knew, like in many pillow talks, like life is fickle, and really at the end of the day, the dough that you die with in your wallet, the day that you get knocked, like
That shit
that shit's gone. Your body
Right.
goes back to the fucking
Right.
earth. Like
Right.
that shit, none of it's gonna matter. So I think that also, from your answer, also intertwining it with just life and death experiences and realizing what's truly important and whatnot. I don't really need all that smoke.
Facts.
Like, do I really want to be a fucking like a Taylor Swift? Like,
Bruno Mars.
that-
Yeah.
I don't know if I want all that smoke.
fuck all that shit.
I just want to feed my family.
Yeah.
Make
Right.
sure shit's cool.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's,
like,
you know, if we in the six figures getting high into the early mill,
That's
I'm
cool.
cool.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I don't need no 10 million. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I can make
It's just
it
not
work.
having to answer to somebody, right?
yeah,
Right.
Yeah.
exactly.
Or, like,
I sympathize with
chasing
that.
External validation.
Correct. Like I
Yeah.
could still
Nothing
have a
comes.
day where I can call everything off and be like, yeah, I'm gonna go do shit with the babies,
Yeah.
and that's important.
And you
Yeah.
can still do it without anybody be like,
What's
no.
crazy is like
Right.
even when they were little kids, like there'd be times now looking back, I kind of fucked up because I probably would have had a house now or some shit. But I used to quit jobs just to take these fools to the beach.
Yeah.
Wow.
I just
Yeah.
didn't care. Like I
Right.
didn't give a fuck.
feel it, though.
Yeah, man.
Super dad, bro.
Yeah,
It works.
I think it worked and it didn't work because like I probably could have accomplished a lot more. But I just
Sure,
at that
yeah.
time, being that age, I had this weird sense of like
I gotta be with
nothing
them.
really matters other than that. Their happiness. You know
And
what I'm saying?
I don't think it was a mistake. I think they'll appreciate
They
it
got those memories
for sure.
You know?
I think they'll
right.
appreciate it when you're not here.
Yeah,
I think
exactly.
I think so. What was the first moment you kind of remember when you realized communication was the key of life?
I would probably say that has dawned on me barely now to this like present moment. I struggle with communication. I always had I always thought that like whatever I felt or my opinion was like more important. And that was something that I battled with my wife, which now I've been able to kind of correct with my current girlfriend.
Sure, yeah.
So like with her, I'm able to like understand now, like now I take the time to be like, okay, why is she feeling this way?
Right.
As to where before life was moving so fast, and not only that, like you'd be under influences of shit to where you just don't care to listen.
Right.
You just whatever you think is right. So like communication is something that I'm barely starting to like get my feet finally planted in, and that's just overall. Also like not lying anymore type shit.
Right.
You know, like just being honest.
Right.
Like I don't know. You growing up as a kid, you think that you could just like one up and people ignore
That's
it,
how
but
you
then you
get
just
over it.
end
It's
up getting
like-
caught up in lies, and then you look stupid, and now
Right.
you sound dumb. So I've tried to veer away from being that person and like really just if I don't like something straight up, and that's even with music. I used to like do joints with people, and I'd hear the joint, and in my head, I'm like, oh, man, like, no, I shouldn't be doing this.
I know what you mean. Yeah, I know what
And
you mean.
I would still just do it just to do
Right,
it.
right.
As to where now, if I really didn't like something or I spotted something I didn't like, it like even with the beats that like when we're in the studio,
Right.
I can now voice those opinions because at the end of the day, like this.
Fuck
Hey,
y'all
I'd
got,
rather be honest.
Right,
Like, I want you
right.
to feel so that we're on a clear slate.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
And there's no gray area.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm barely learning it, dog. I'm barely learning
We all
it.
are, brother.
Yeah.
For sure. Usually we dive into people's personal life. We kind of did that first, but I kind of want to jump into the music a little earlier than we do usually. You dropped a collab project. We definitely gonna talk about that later. But before that, you dropped your debut project last year, and it feels that it's only right that we go into that for sure first.
Yeah.
Give us the name of the debut project.
The Requiem.
The Requiem.
Yeah. So the Requiem, I titled it that because it was one, I had seen a movie, Requiem for a Dream,
Right.
when I was younger, and that movie it just kind of like opened up my eyes to like how crazy life changes and how people are affected by what you do. And when the Requiem is when the definition is like the death of yourself in front of like a mass, like in front of a public.
Right.
So I decided to go with that because that was also at the time where I had been grieving my wife's passing. So it's really homage to her in the album. To start, it kind of starts with my how I just took shit so loosely and didn't really lock in on how important the little things were, to losing her, to being upset and being a dog. Because at the time before I had met my current girlfriend, me and Surrealist and my two other cousins, Hoodie and Louie, all had a house in El Rio. We called it the dog house. And so through the grieving period, we did a lot of fuck shit at the house. You know, there's a lot of daily partying, that was my way of grieving. So as you progress through the album, you'll feel the anger and like when the restrictions were lifted and everyone was at beach club and everyone's just getting fucked up.
Right.
A lot of those blurry ass nights will get explained through there, which is when like David James kind of comes on. And then it comes on into like, it turns into realizing that life is fickle and important if you don't really seize it. And then it turns into meeting my girlfriend or have like finally seeing the blossom of her allowing me to open my eyes to a new love, versus being so distraught in like, I'll never love again type shit. So that's kind of the journey you get. It's like,
Stages of grief.
the stages of right before of her passing to me doing fuck shit to meeting my girlfriend. So and right before meeting my girlfriend, there's a huge mushroom trip that gets involved that I had at Joshua Tree, where I went after her passing looking for fucking answers. And I had a good group of friends of mine. Shout out to Matt and Cole and Slurred and my cousin Louie that like took me out there, and I had never really like delved into it. And that day I delved deep.
Sure.
And it opened my eyes to being able to like drop me as a human.
The facade,
and like, and it just let everything go. And then it goes into my girlfriend's side of things on the last joints. But it's a beautiful project. Honestly, I hope that, slowly people find it in whatever time and whatever they're going through, and that it's able to open their eyes to realize that there's someone else that feels the same exact way, But the Requiem that's my heart. That shit speaks everything of, like, if you want to know Inzom, listen to the Requiem from start to finish.
Sure.
Don't change it, and you will realize who I am as a person.
Was that storytelling intentional, or did you just make a bunch of songs and then?
No, it was fully intentional.
Song.
I didn't write anything. I wrote everything as those times came, as they presented themselves. Some of them towards the end, I was able to piece like a couple in there, but for the most part, as things happen,
real
those
time.
songs got written. So like at the doghouse, when Carmen passed away, Cyrilus would be knocking at my door like, hey, come out of the room. I'd just be in there just getting fucking, I'd be drinking fifths of liquor and just
Right.
playing a bunch of oldies and songs, and he'd finally drag me out, and he'd be like, he'd be hearing what I'm playing, and then he'd go and sample what I'm playing.
Yeah.
So he presented a
Put you
couple
in
of
that
joints
vibe,
like that,
yeah.
Right.
and so I was able to transfer that bedroom pain into the studio, which was in the next room, and finally get out of my box. And I know a lot of times people didn't know that I was in those situations because like random strangers would be in my house. It'd be a house of 40 people, you know, hanging out, and I'd just be there just blacked out but smiling and laughing. But when everyone was gone, I'd go back to that room, you know.
Yeah, that's
But
kind of
yeah.
like Jesse from Breaking Bad when he was going through his traumatic event. That's what it sounds like. Yeah, man. Like grief will make you do all kinds of things you wouldn't even imagine.
Yeah, definitely. So I'm very happy that you know, he produced Message in a Bottle, which is like the core
funny.
song of
Yeah.
everything. But yeah, that's the one that I wrote as almost like an apology letter to her family, to her, to myself, to my kids, to just, you know, maybe wanting to have done things different or better myself.
Yeah.
But then as the songs progress, I progress as a human being. So
Right on.
I don't have the same feelings I had at those moments.
Right.
I do and don't, you know, but they're
course.
just they're better understood now.
Yeah.
See, I asked a question in here that you kind of just answered was about Message in the Bottle, and it was like, tell us the story about the song. You kind of did. If you want to go into
Yeah.
deep dive, we can definitely do
I
that.
think it's, you know, the beginning. It starts with you know, we used to drink a lot, right, and that was part of why she passed. And so
What did she pass away
from cirrhosis, because we used to brew it heavily, and it was just a lot of liquor. You know what I'm saying? And on top of that, I think that you deal with your own traumas from, you know, your childhood and your
Naturally.
upbringings. And I
Shit
think
different.
the beginning of the song is like my apologies to her parents and my parents, because it's more of like, you told us where it would end up, and we were hard headed. I was hard headed. I wouldn't really listen. I never really thought the day would come.
Right.
So that was the beginning of why I started it out the way I started. I think I'll start this verse with an apology
Yeah,
to
you
every
did.
soul that shaped me in
Right.
my adolescence.
Yeah, listen to that one.
Because it's you don't think about it at those times. Like when I tell my kids right now something,
They're
it's
not
in
listening.
one ear and out the other.
Bro, we think we're invincible when we're
Yeah,
young.
you don't give one fuck.
Nope.
But there will come a day where life will
Yes,
grab
show
sir.
you
you
something.
and be like,
Yes, sir.
let me show you what's really gonna
Exactly.
crack.
Yep.
You're not invincible.
Exactly.
And that was where I went. And I think that song was like heavily dealt with regrets and just, you know, maybe I could have done more. Maybe, you know, like blaming myself almost in a sense.
Yeah.
Because like you introduce things into people's lives, and sometimes you think, oh, well, maybe if I didn't come around, it wouldn't have been that way. Or who would have the person been if I didn't exist in their life? You know what I'm saying? Things like that. That's where the song went through, and it was just me kind of going through the motions of battling with it myself, because that's really why I was in the room. It was the blame. You blame yourself.
Yeah.
So it's just kind of like a self-expression of regret and of realizing that I fucked up, you know.
And can I?
Yeah, go ahead.
We know music is almost like a diary sometimes, right?
Yeah.
And with us expressing ourselves through the music, would you say that Message in a Bottle provided some sort of catharsis for you?
I don't know
dealing-
what the fuck catharsis means. I'm sorry. I know my vocabulary is, I know my shit is slightly extensive, but it ain't that. You outdid me right
My
now.
fault, bro.
Nah, you good.
Therapeutic.
we get into-
Like, did you heal from? Like, was there some sort of
Like looking back, I still go to that album,
Yeah.
and I can cry,
Right.
and I can smile, and
Okay.
I can look up at wherever she might be and feel a sense of there's some question like, am I doing all right? Like, would you be proud of me right now?
Yeah.
Am I not doing enough? Like, you know, but there's no, what I felt before writing the album doesn't exist.
Okay.
Henceforth, the name The Requiem. It was
Right.
death to me in front of all of you motherfuckers so
Yeah.
that you could see that I'll be somebody else by the time this shit is done.
That's tight.
Yeah.
That's tight. That's tight.
I like it. Sound like some
Bro.
zombie shit. I
Yeah.
like zombie shit.
Back from the
Yeah.
Back
Talk to
from
us
it.
about the story in the song of the youth, in the song Youth. I had to go get that a few different times.
Yeah.
Once I realized that you was telling the story, because I'm like, nah, this nigga's different. Like,
Yeah.
this nigga's telling us a story, and so I just really want to know the deeper meaning.
The deeper meaning to youth was failing to realize truly how strong we are from birth to death. Like what you can truly harness as an individual,
Yeah.
what you could do in other people's lives. Almost like, you know, when people go in and, you know, get people saved in their religion or whatever the case might be. Like just us in general, we have a lot of power. So youth to me is a song of realizing that any of us are more than capable of being immaculate in this world and really being a force in other people's lives. And that's what youth is. So like I wrote it in a sense of like, you don't need no fuck shit. You don't need nobody. Like, as long as you run with love and positivity, you can literally change whatever you want, whatever you put your mind to. And that's youth. Youth is one of my favorite. That's just slept on, but it's
sure.
That's one of them that I placed in because I had youth. I did youth with Mark Ford in Vegas for a mixtape. And that one was one that I already had, like, felt when I was battling already, like, drinking with myself. I had wrote youth in, like, a sense of, like, you're better than whatever you're doing, you're better than it.
Right.
You know, so I had wrote it, but I wrote it on a mixtape and it was over some random beat. But my wife had loved it so much. So I decided to take that one old song and actually put it on an original beat that Little Wicked made. Shout out to DJ Little Wicked.
Hey.
And when he made it, I don't know why those bars came to my head and I kept it for the Requiem. And it felt right because I knew she'd be stoked on it. And it's something that I can give as like a sense of like, really stand up for yourself and understand that you're powerful. We're all powerful. Every individual in their own uniqueness has a power. And when you harness it, you can be deadly, nasty. But yeah, that's youth.
That's tight.
Born simply to wander around in a chaos for a few years and disappear. There's a reason we are here. Most persons are not aware of this reason and are therefore constantly in conflict with the plan to which they belong.
Blessed is his soul, all action. No gun speaking, he just holds compassion. No drugs peeking, he just drove on passion. All terrain and paved the road on standing. 6 gears speeding, coast no crashing. The cash fuels demons and the pain fuels answers. Never ever let the day move faster. You get left like the foolish in a rap show. I jump between the letters and the stanzas, vanish, hoping that this world don't hold them captive. Slander, something that society is after. The truth will always find you when it matters. Frolic in the pastures of danger and disaster. The reaper steady creeping when we dancing. He can feel her presence like she's breathing down his back. She reciting his existence in a poem written backwards. Or maybe it's his sin, though. Maybe he that windmill spinning circles from the wind blow. Maybe his reflection in the window was a symbol. Granting pistols double fisted, that's a Kimbo. But the battle lives inside of we. Sodomy and lust, another buck is really all we think. Sodom and Gomorrah type of aura, fuck the kind of me. Hell on earth, we left to search and figure all the means. But if change is gonna come, it starts with you. If you don't practice what you preach, you're gonna lose. What's done at night will come to light, and that's the truth. The wicked never sleep, they on the creek beneath the moon, trying to martyr all the purity and spirit in the youth. Are we living a lie, living a dream, wondering why planets align, stars shine as we travel the night. Constant rotation in a space at a time, yet aside we're in a space and in time, anxiously waiting with lies. On the other side of the track as we age and we die, flirting with death, a kiss poison like a snake when it strikes, yet embracive like an infant that Christ. In the midst of his pain, he keeps tripping on his voice in his mind. When he questions himself, is he talking to Christ? Are we closer to God than the moon in the skies? Cause I can feel her within, where my conscience resides. And she ain't letting him go. It's like every move that he makes, she just letting him know you're part of a bigger picture, real treasure and gold. You hold the universe inside your mind, body, and soul. But if change is gonna come, it starts with you. If you don't practice what you preach, you're gonna lose. What's done at night will come to light, and that's the truth. The wicked never sleep, they on the creek beneath the moon, trying to martyr all the purity and spirit in the youth.
That shit's hard as
That
fuck.
shit crazy,
Thank
bro.
you. I
Fuck
appreciate
that
it.
shit.
That shit's
Yeah, the only thing I had changed on it was at the end of the second verse, I was saying he as in like a god, and then I switched it to her when Carmen had passed, and then not only that, I don't know what God might be, so I left it as her in like remembrance of melodic. So that's why I'm relating to the last bars. Like if I'm talking in a dialogue with God, it's technically with her kind of at that moment. But yeah.
That's dope, man.
You are
shit's
super,
crazy.
super deep when it comes to lyricists, man. Like,
Thank you.
super deep. I think that's the first thing people bring up when they talk about you is just your lyrical content. Talk to us about the journey that made you become the wordsmith that you are today.
I would think it was just what I would listen to, I guess. So like whatever really caught my attention growing up would be people that you know, the sunscapes over cityscape silhouettes, bright light flicker cigarettes, smoke pirouettes. It's the addictive kiss of death in effect. Like things that painted pictures for me. That's Jess, by the way. He's a UK rapper. So like Jess put me on. Planet Asia had more of like a braggadocio style of talking shit, but wouldn't just talk shit. Like he would put it in different ways. You know, when he was with Cali Agents, listening to Evidence's solo shit, which my wife loved. I took a lot of like what I listened to, you know, even Gangstar, Mass Appeal. It's not like it's not a crazy depth, but it paints pictures for you. I always found a infatuation with stuff that I'd have to go run back and listen to.
Yeah,
Atmosphere,
to run it back. Yep.
same thing, you know.
That's dope.
But yeah, I think it was just how hype I felt listening to like Mos Def, and what he made me feel on even on songs where he wasn't saying a lot, he said a lot.
A lot.
So
It was
it's,
speaking to you.
yeah. Like the panties from Mos Def, crazy. Like it's just Umi Says it's crazy. It all I just think about a lot of joints that I was like, damn, like I want to be someone that can do that for the people. And it just happened to be that like maybe I learned from a lot of them and could have started as an imitation at first, but then I found myself in it. You know, I don't really think that I like distinctively sound like anybody else. So I'm happy about that.
Yeah, no,
they kind of all, it's like graffiti, you know. I'll go paint with certain foods certain nights, and they teach me shit.
That's so dope.
And I could take from it and do what I want. And that's kind of what it became.
That's fine.
Yeah.
Most artists try to get music that's played everywhere. You know what I mean? Forever 21, all that other bullshit. I noticed you don't really give a fuck about none of that.
No, I don't. But then I also learned from Vince Staples.
Yeah.
Like, You
Getting
could do it,
placements.
Yeah,
and you could do it right,
yeah.
and get placements, and
Yeah.
and that'll reach the goal of
That
being
you-
comfortable
right.
that you ultimately
Right,
want. So I
right.
do think about it now,
Yeah.
but there was times where like I'd also think of like when Tyler the Creator was like, oh, I could find a song on YouTube that I fucking love, and that shit's got 10 listens.
Right.
Like
Yeah.
it just don't. It'll find you when it finds you, and that still makes me happy. You know, if it
That's
does ever find you.
Can I like with your style of rap, bro? It's you know, you mentioned Mos Def, and then you know, and other MCs. In today's climate of hip hop, there's a lost art per se of conscious rap, right? Now, would you say yours is conscious rap, or is it just like because to me it sounds like you're just speaking from what you experienced and you're trying to
Yeah.
paint a picture and you want people to actually get to know you.
Yeah.
Because I listen to some of your records too, and you know, and it's like Jay was saying, I haven't heard like that, you know, that raunchy, braggadocious like turn up music.
Go listen to the Dogs.
Right. They're right.
Baby,
I'm talking about the individual
But yeah,
project
me-
right
okay.
here.
Okay.
Oh no, we
Shout
gonna
out
get
to my
into the
dogs.
other client. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
He got
So
it for
I
sure.
got the-
Okay, so I got to do more homework on it. Okay,
He
cool.
got it for sure.
But like you,
on
you
the
don't-
But me
personal
as an
joint.
individual,
Yeah.
as an individual, yes, I love the conscious rap.
Right.
I love like shit that just makes you appreciate things or feel
think.
Yeah, that you're using your mind.
Yeah.
You see, that's what people like when people talk to me about conscious rap. It's I'm cool with the content.
Yep.
It's the way. It's the sound
Delivered.
of things.
Absolutely.
Exactly.
Yeah,
And
because you
certain
do have
things-
those fools out there that are still like heavy
That's
boom
bad.
bap.
That's what I was
bro,
gonna get
and
into.
it's like-
Exactly.
that's
That's what I was
like,
leading
dog,
to.
honestly,
That's what I was leading
you
to.
really ain't saying shit.
No,
bro.
that's
bro.
I was gonna
Lyrical,
say you different.
I'm like,
Hey, bro,
get
and
the fuck out of here.
That's what I was
appreciate-
getting at.
I
I
appreciate
got
you
love
saying
for
that.
everything that's came before me.
Right.
Me too.
But there's also like
There's some shit I'ma fuck with,
dope
this shit I'm
ways
not.
to deliver. Oh shit,
Exactly.
sorry.
Right.
Like,
You're good.
like Mac Miller.
Crazy. But see, that's the thing.
But
is,
it's not all. If you notice when you listen to Nikes on My Feet or Kool-Aid and Frozen Pizza, and then you
Right.
go listen to Congratulations,
Then you're like, what
it's
the fuck?
crazy the change.
Exactly.
tone.
But he
Absolutely.
still killed classic beats. Look at Lord Finesse fucking sued his ass. you
Yeah,
know,
man.
like
That shit's
because
serious.
he killed that joint.
The whole joint
Yeah,
was
bro.
TV, no sound with the TV on or whatever.
Yeah.
That
with
shit
the
was
TV
all
on.
boom
yeah,
bap,
or
killing that
Kids, like
shit.
all
Yeah.
that shit. He's great, but you listen to his shit now, like his
Feminist joint is the latest one. Yeah, feminist development.
Yeah, and they're
Exactly.
still conscious and immaculate,
Right. Yeah.
but they
Right.
sound way different. It's because there's no right or wrong way to sound.
Right.
It's
Exactly.
the, like how you deliver the
It's how
message.
you deliver it.
Like right now on my way over here, I had someone like had hit up Little Yachty on like, you know how when people are walking into New York and they're like, "What's your favorite song ever?"
Yeah, yeah.
And he said "White Ferrari" from Frank Ocean.
Yeah.
Shit lit.
I had never heard it.
Yeah.
Right.
And I heard it on the way over here. I'm like, God damn, this shit is amazing.
Yeah.
But you know, there's music for everything, and
Right.
there's no like, I can't stand the fools that'll be like, oh, that's not hip hop. Like, fuck you.
Right.
I'm not
Exactly.
here to like stand for hip hop, but I
Right.
love hip hop. It
Yes,
built
sir.
me.
Yes, sir.
I got love for it. And you know, like if you put me on a Gangstar joint right now or some premiere or whatever,
slide
like I'm gonna
that
still
bitch.
smack that shit.
See, that's bro.
it's
That's
just-
so lit. That's.
Yeah.
But I'm
I
gonna
love
smack
that.
this shit too.
I'm
Yeah,
gonna do what I
but you
want to
put me
do
on
too.
a fucking Frank Ocean, airy fucking violin that's playing. I'm
Right.
gonna body that shit
Synths.
too.
Oh yeah. Oh
Exactly.
yeah.
Synths.
That's how
Bro,
I be
yeah.
feeling, bro.
Yeah.
Like,
But yes,
Who are
That's
some
real.
of the artists that were influenced you growing up?
I think I've said Evidence enough times. Alchemist, Atmosphere, Slug, Idea and Abilities. Idea and Abilities was amazing. Rest in peace, Idea. Fucking a lot of Spanish artists that my mom and dad brought me because there's like Spanish rock heads. Café Tacuba, Maldita Vecindad, Hombres G, Caifanes. I remember them taking me to concerts as little kids.
That's tight.
I love, I used to be really jealous that a lot of my friends had like older siblings or parents that were like all oldies. And I'd be like, damn.
That's interesting.
They'd be playing,
That's so lit.
they'd be
Yeah.
playing like Al Greens and shit like that.
Yeah.
And I've never heard it when I was younger, like
Right.
junior high.
Right.
yeah.
And I always had the Spanish rock parents that like my mom and dad were like fucking leather jackets and blue
That's tight,
jeans
bro.
and white
That's
tees,
tight.
and
That's
my
You
dad
didn't grow
had
up
his
with
fucking
that.
man bun, and he was all
That's tight.
fucking
That's
like combat boots and
Yeah.
shit. Like they were
Yeah.
like that, and but then still they were still heavy into the old rancheras, Vicente Fernandez, Juan Gabriel. So like all that shit is just as much to me as the artists that I looked up to
Right.
in the hip hop sense. They all played such a huge part individually. But yeah, I would say, yeah, that's pretty much sums
Yeah,
it
that
up.
was
That's
gotcha,
what
gotcha.
All right, the Dogs. Talk to us about the group. What was it like working with, like I said earlier, another one of the 805 voices in this whole thing? How does that relationship with Surrealist push you as an artist? How did that push you for your next album? Because it sounds like, or for your album, it sounds like he was a partner in the situation too, even
Yeah.
though it's your debut project.
Yeah.
How does that relationship work out, and how does that go?
He's been there through the fucking highs and through the most fucked up lows that I've experienced as a human being. Mine and Surrealist's relationship started with him being a fan of my music when he was younger, like 17. And one day he messaged me and asked if he could photograph when I was on tour with Reverie and Self Provoked and Vel and everybody else. He was just like, "Oh, let me go snap some shots."
Yeah.
And so he came. I think we had a show somewhere like in Bowling or some shit, or Baldwin Park. And he fucking, from there, we developed like, he was like coming around a little more often. And then finally he was like, let's get on a joint.
Yeah.
And we ended up doing Let 'Em Go was the first song that we did together that was filmed at Wainimi Beach. So if you guys look that up, that wasn't a Dog's joint yet. That was just Surrealist and Inzom.
Right.
And then from there, we ended up being in the studio a lot more. And then we ended up getting that pat together. And so we created the Dogs. When we would be recording at ASR Studios, shout out to my homie Schleimer, Roll Boogie, everybody else at ASR, Chewy. They pretty much, us being in that space, created a lot of the joints that, there's actually joints that no one's ever heard that are from the Dogs, and that's when we gave the group name at that time. So that might have been like 2020. Yeah.
Yeah, 'cause I
2020.
heard about you guys 2021.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I've known him for quite some time, and he's played a big influence as of late on like the dope shit that we're getting to do, because he's ventured into his own shit, but we still sharpen each other's swords. So we've been tapping back in. He had moved out to LA, so like I get to go out there and spend time with him. He gets to come down here, spend time with us. But yeah, it's been a beautiful journey, And then from there we expanded. So the Dogs was just me and him. We now have who's here. He's a fucking amazing producer, an amazing human being, and he makes a lot of our shit.
Yeah.
He actually now, by default, handles a lot of the management shit.
Shout out
Got
who's.
passed down.
sure.
Got
Shout out.
Jewish
Step
stuff,
up, man. Step up,
He's the
man.
only Jewish man involved in this. So.
It's you, bro.
Okay,
It's you, bro.
okay.
Do
But
your
yeah,
job.
Him, Suchi, out from the 818, my homie Chivo, Wicked. Everybody's just been
It's a
playing
real
playing a
pack.
big part. AOG, Miggy. We just have a dope ass
Collective.
circle of collective
Right.
of friends that we just kind of get to touch base on different terms, or all at the same time, and it's been tight.
Fire.
Yeah.
I did notice that you went, I wouldn't necessarily say, because you went crazy as far as features, as far as humping on a bunch of shit, 2021, Dogs, all that shit. You kind of took a little break in working on your debut project. Talk
Yes.
to us about that break. Talk to us why you necessarily think you needed that break from just jumping on a bunch of shit while you were working on you.
I think it's just also what happens in the background. A lot of people don't see, so it might look like shit is at a standstill to the world, but behind closed doors, like he and I ended up locking in a lot of the stuff that we have on a project called The Melting Pot. A lot of that got done like in the time past. Like it's not recent music,
Right.
so we're like, when the doors were closed and we're just doing our shit, we were just kind of cultivating and getting all just experimenting and having shit get-togethers and creating new content, which you guys will probably be seeing in the next months and probably up to the next year because that's how much we've done. But yeah, the work is there. We just kind of took the break from the social medias to get it together. Also, we had ended up locking in with Silent Giant. So Silent Giant is now distributing a lot of our music. So that's kind of, you know, all that stuff you got to kind of wait on and sign shit. And
I wasn't necessarily saying the break now because I don't think you're taking a break. I was more so saying like, well,
what time period are you talking about?
From 2021 to your debut project.
Oh,
there was a space.
I think it was still the grieve, bro.
Yeah.
The grieving, and not wanting to rush something. Sorry for misunderstanding that question completely.
Totally okay. You're good, gang.
I got something out of the other one too.
You're good, gang.
My brain is way elsewhere. Cheers. Honestly, I think that I still had a lot to do with myself. You know, I didn't want to force my pen to move just because people were waiting on it, or because I in my head like, oh, you haven't done enough musically. I think that album to me is special because it happened through moments, through memories, through experiences, through conversations, through hallucinations, through a little bit of everything, you know, and that's what makes it so special to me personally, you know. But yeah, that break was specifically for re-evaluating life, for setting up my new family that I have now, you know, my girlfriend, shout out to Diana, I love you, and like, you know, really being there for the children and making sure that as much as I wanted to put shit out, there was other stuff that needed to get handled, and that would come all at its right times. Because regardless, I knew that project was coming. But I'm so happy I waited because a lot of other things happened in those times that allowed me to write. Yeah. I couldn't imagine trying to say, hey, I'm going to write the Requiem, and I just write all 10 songs, 12 songs right now.
Right now.
Yeah, like, fuck that.
That's
I
impossible,
need the experiences to get to that point.
Thank you. I didn't have the word, and it's the experiences that needed to come.
For sure.
That were still, although I had a lot of them, I was still missing some. So, yeah.
Being that you are someone with variety of different rap styles, what is more challenging for you, to make a song that everyone can relate to?
Faded. Nah,
a song that you because Faded is one of those songs, a song that everyone can relate to, or a song that tells your story.
No, telling my story will always
be more complicated.
It'll always, my pen will run too long sometimes.
Okay.
I struggle to find, if there is a struggle when penning my own thoughts, it's trying to shorten it because there's some
condensing.
Wow,
yeah, trying to put it into 3/16 or 2/16 is crazy.
Yeah.
But writing for someone else sometimes, I think the beat selections, it can be what throws me off. Like your beat selection was easy. Like it was easier for me. Like when I heard your verse and I heard King, like it already took me to I was already like, I got it.
Right.
But there's somewhere out here the beat, and the beat just don't move me.
It'd be like that, bro.
And I'm like, damn, like I gotta really force myself to
say some shit.
That's a problem
and
for
I'm
me
not
still.
really feeling
Me
it.
too.
I like the feeling versus the forcing is a big game changer.
Do you feel like, okay, as an artist, I also understand the beauty that does come on the other side, though, of the challenge.
Yeah.
Do you feel that? When you listen to a Faded versus when you listen to Sin, our joint?
Yeah.
Do you feel like not what verse is better or whatever, but when you're getting into that, like, this took me that bag, like this took me, I had to get into this bag.
Yeah,
is
100%.
that more satisfying?
Yes, 100%.
Yeah,
I do love that.
I felt like that. I feel like that too, because I feel like it's like the same thing as when you don't want to do something you do something you don't want to do.
Not only that, you
out.
hear, it's always dope to, like, sometimes I feel like we're our own worst critics.
Yeah.
So when you have a circle of people that you might play it for, and they're like, yo, you're wilding if you don't like this shit. This shit
you're
is
bugging.
dumb.
Right.
then you could be like, okay, maybe it was just my own insecurity.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep. That's real, man.
Once you hear yourself a bunch too, like if you're,
I used to
yeah.
fucking hate my
that's
voice.
what I'm saying. It's,
I couldn't stand that shit. Even when like my dad had the camcorder out,
And then you
I
hearing
just
it?
hear it, I'm like, shut the fuck
Shut
up.
the I'm the same way. I was just
Yeah.
talking about that with somebody, but it's also if you're very involved with like your mixing process too.
Yeah.
Sometimes I don't want to be involved because I don't want
Yeah.
to hear it 1,000 times. You know what I mean?
Thousand.
It
1001.
kind of could take away the love from it.
It
You know what I
does,
mean?
like-
Like, man, just fuck
I'm
this.
tired of
Fuck
hearing
this
this.
shit,
I hate
dumbass
this. I
song,
hate
like,
this.
I don't
And
wanna
it'd be
hear
a
this
and it'd be
shit
a
no more.
bop too.
And
You
right,
hate it.
Good as fuck.
That shit
That's why I
trash.
got a lot of
Yeah.
appreciation for motherfuckers like
Yeah.
Who's, because
You need
or like
people that's
Surrealists.
not
They'll be
yes
there
men.
just constantly going and going. And I'm sure he might feel some type of way about it, but
Yeah.
he'll go through it because he knows it's got to be done.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm happy I don't own no computer because I probably would have
That's
broke
what I was
that bitch.
saying, bro.
Yeah.
That's real. This ain't
Shit's
really a
crazy.
question. Before we move on to the melting pot, more so flowers. Before we jump into the new project, you have the ability that only a few can carry, and it's the ability to literally paint pictures with your words. You were talking about it earlier. A lot of people try to do it. They haven't really mastered the ability to do it yet. And to me, my favorite rappers out. People have a misconstrued on what I love is hip hop.
Same.
Like I have what I like to party to.
Yeah.
And then I have what I'm a fan of that like I look at niggas and be like, fuck you every time
Yeah.
I hear something. And every time I hear you, I literally do that with the most respect.
Thank
like,
you. Thank you.
fuck this
That
nigga.
means a lot.
This shit is hard. Like,
Facts.
quick story. We're on doing the shit for the album. And I had sent I did all the album. I did the whole album in 7 days.
Yes.
So recorded everything, did everything in 7 days.
I do recall when you posted that. I was like,
Sent
damn.
it to
All right.
sent it to all my dogs. Sent it to
Yeah.
everybody like, oh, I hear you, I hear you, I hear you. I sent it to you and I'm like, yo, I had you, Harris, and Ford already in mind. So, but I had sent it to my homies because I don't have your number. I don't
Yeah.
have Harris's number. So I was just sending it to my homies to just see if we could get the song done before y'all got back to me.
Yeah.
So, and this is respect to all my brothers. I love all y'all. I get I niggas send me the verse back. So I sent it, I recorded it, sent it immediately. Boom, sent it to everybody. I get the verses back from 2 of my dogs. They will remain nameless. I got the verses back. No, I got the verses back from 3 of my dogs. They will remain nameless. Got it back. Listen to it. Said, okay. In my mind, I'm thinking, okay, I'm going to just put it together anyway. I'm going
Yeah.
to just put the songs together. Bro, I get Harris's verse back. I go, oh, these 3 niggas ain't going to make the song. I said, oh, I don't think these 3 niggas going to make the song. I get your verse back. I said, oh, I don't think Ford's gonna make the song. So this is before I got the verse back because
Yeah.
I'm thinking in my head, this nigga's last.
Yeah.
Like in my mind, I'm thinking like when
Yeah,
I got
I
it back,
remember.
nigga, we're sitting
He's
here
serious. We're
arguing.
sitting, yeah.
I'm arguing with 4 of my niggas. He's one of them. We're sitting here arguing about who's going last.
We were trying to
Cause
figure
I'm
it
like,
out.
nah, nigga, like this nigga body shit. Like I was
Slid.
like, no, this nigga slid, and I was just the whole time, bro. Cause in painting pictures, bro.
Yeah.
Like
That
Thank
shit
you.
was
Thank
crazy.
you.
I don't know you as a religious man. I don't know nothing about you, but
Yeah.
I can listen to. I feel like if I listen to your verse, and it's a 12, 16 at best, I'm getting some vision of you as a man and as
Yeah.
a person
Yeah.
that is rare from artists in general.
Thank
and
you.
that's like one of the things that I literally look at artists and I be like, "Fuck you, bro." Like I really wish I could do that shit.
Ford called me too when he heard what he called me after he got the joint. He's like, "Damn, y'all spaz." He's like, He's like, "Thank you for motivating me. I'm gonna really go in on this." I'm like, "Hell yeah."
He not
That's
gonna
tight.
he not gonna tell you the real. I'm gonna tell you the real. That's my dog. He not gonna be mad
He
at
fucking
this.
slid though.
That's my dog. I get the verses back. I send it to Ford first because we just did the podcast here. So
Yeah.
I already had one in mind for him. I sent him one. Got it back from Harris. I said, oh, no. Get on this one instead. Send it. He only heard me and Harris on it. When I got your verse back, I sent it to him immediately.
He called me immediately.
No, he didn't.
Oh.
He didn't. No, he didn't. Look,
Okay,
I'm going to tell you the story. Look. So I
Okay.
sent it immediately. Boom. He gets it. No, he doesn't get it. He doesn't listen to it, doesn't look through the email, doesn't see the email, doesn't hear the song.
Yeah.
Records a verse, sends the verse back. I go, hey, bro, I don't think, verbatim, it's in my text message.
Yeah.
I said, I don't think you heard the version with Inzom on there.
Yeah.
Go listen to the version with Inzom on there and tell me if you don't want to redo your verse or not.
Yeah.
He heard that and texted you.
Yeah. No, he called me right away.
Yeah.
He called me.
And I literally, after that, I said, nah, and then he sent it back. I said, chef's kiss.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, because I don't, to me, it's not in a competitive nature, but I like to make the best of the best of the best shit.
Yeah, yeah.
So if I'm getting.
At this point, as we've gotten older, I think the best is to not waste time on doing whack shit when you can do everything
hard
to the
shit.
best of ability.
Right. So to me, that I'm gonna play the song real quick, but
Yeah.
to me, I was like, nah, I gotta get the hardest. And to me, y'all are the hardest niggas when
I
it comes to
appreciate it.
lyricism.
And before you play it, is there any way to get a bathroom break?
Yeah, take
Yeah.
a bathroom break, bro.
Sick.
Sir.
No, come on, gang.
Shout out Dre. Shout out Dre. Hey, I still be bumping a lot of his
I
shit.
bump Drake
Of
still.
course,
Yeah, what?
man.
Everybody
of
bump
course.
Drake still.
Can't
You got
deny
to.
that. Can't deny that. Man got hit.
Well, if you didn't bump, I should say, if you didn't bump Drake before, then I understand why you don't
And
still
I
bump Drake.
didn't-
But if you-
wait, is
if
that
you
the one
bumped
with
Drake
Cole?
before-
Him and Cole on that old ass joint.
Yeah, that
in the
old
morning.
joint
In the morning.
Yeah, that shit is classic.
Baby, you summertime.
Baby, you summertime fine.
That was a banger. That was
Is
a
there?
Yeah, shit. She bound to me, making love, let's make a wild movie. I feel like Cusco's cause a nigga always stay groovy. I break their heart, the only way to get me is to sue me. Like how you mad because I choose the girl that really suit me. Son of a monster, so fly that I can work at NASA. I might say that you can't teach, I never went to Stanford. I might say that you will reach if you listen to grandpa. But also hanging out with killers, the opposite of grandpa. Yeah. Look, a blended family like the Brady Bunch. Used to be close with my brothers, now we ain't saying much. Ever since my brother passed away, I'm never feeling much, except for anger. Me and Frank got more in common than just a crash. Like, how can I make you happy if I'm feeling brass? But shit, I'm do this for my mama, stepping on the gas. I'm Ghost Rider, yeah, I'm going full throttle on the gas.
Yeah, don't say it's up unless you're down for me. Hit the feds and some niggas ain't stick around for me. Ox City King, yeah, I run it. Second down and 40. Might have to punt it since nobody won it. Uno hit me at one of my darkest times. I wanna trust God, but I'm swaying between the lines. That money be the root of all. Without it, don't know who to call. Be careful about them pocket watches, waiting on your crew to fall. Got bullets to suit them all, floating up the Rubicon. Some say the trust is earned, but I'm barely getting used to y'all. Inspired by the 7 deadly sins, but need a coupe to ball. Was settled for a coupe de ville, but now I'm trying to shit on y'all. More proper ways to drive a drop away, fresh off a holiday. Your mama might have saved you when she prayed you put them pots away. You know it ain't a thing to me. Niggas know what's up with it. Chain hang the same way the bucket sit. I'm loving it.
Yeah, canary diamonds blind to no one, homie, I don't own them. Believe the heart is shining, show them better than I told them. Who the fuck you think is chosen? I'm like God, Jehovah, Palmer stars. You look up in the night, I'm dunking Casanovas. Armageddon any second if you test my soldier. I'll Desmond Doss, don't need a loader, keep my squadron focused. Believe abide by what my coach gave me crops to growers. Mentally I'm dishing what I learned like action Bronson shoulders. Show up and show out, it's like the late show. Starting 5, never knew was sitting out of place. Host stayed toast 10 deep and missing shots will change your perspective. Money motivated the message, my section gave me the lessons. How many men to protect, work harder or else you destined. End up where all the messes. I get it and pass a weapon. Grinding, we
The
find a
tonality
method
is
with
crazy,
Uno
bro.
Harris and four.
Thank you.
What more you want with this blessing is on.
Low key, I don't have 10 toes. I only have 9, and I'm being honest.
Hey, that's lit.
We gotta dive into that for sure. She was talking about eating toes one time.
Okay.
One time, hey, but it was for some it was for some bands though.
Yeah, it was for millions.
My regards and wishes. Cause life could be a bitch. You see these scars and stitches. My journey from a ditch to a star position.
like
Time
this
dilation hitting different. Now the stars is inches, nigga. Guess we're moving by that light speed. Young 40 might be. MJ and Spike Lee times 3. Holy Trinity, that's a rhyme scheme. And God with me. Philosophy, how we defy things. Open your eyes, drop a Visine. Making plays daily. This music only a side stream. But my thing, especially in the 5, we divine beings. Niggas got the light like we dancing with the high beams on high dreams. Smoking indica, peep the literature. Zama King, Uno 140, complete cinema. Hitting move, I'm Pee-wee with it, could deep enemas. Shitting on the track, concrete with these signatures.
I didn't know that you guys, like, this whole time that you guys were playing joints, I thought we had to be like hella quiet.
Yeah, no, we can
I would have been having you pause when I was saying stuff. I was just kidding. Hey,
that shit is
joint's
real.
crazy. That's
That
a
joint's
beautiful
nuts.
joint. It's a
Thank you,
beautiful
bro.
joint.
No, thank y'all
That
for
shit needs a
blessing
video
me.
for sure.
Oh, on tab. It's
Oh,
on
it's on
tab.
the way.
It's on the way.
Yeah.
It's on
It's
the
one of
way.
them
Believe
things.
that. It's on the way.
Trying to write some movies, bro. We
Yeah.
trying to write some
What? Gotta
crazy
write
shit, bro.
movies.
We gotta write movies.
All right, let's get into this collab project. Melting Pot, 10 songs. 5 or 6 were features. Talk to us about the journey on working on these songs and what led y'all to doing a collab project.
So that kind of goes back to your question that I completely misinterpreted. Melting Pot was a time frame where Who's and I we were in the studio and we were like experimenting, making shit together. We'd be working on other stuff for other people, and at the same time, just collectively, I'd be in one room, he'd be playing something, just making it, and I'd be like, yeah, that one, give it to me, let me have it, like type shit like that. And yeah, it was just a dope ass project that we could both give each other's flavors to combine to see what we could create. And we created the Melting Pot. And it's a variety of just dope shit, crazy shit.
How long did that take? Were they all new songs, or were they songs you've held on to?
Nah, they were like, Who's I Might Need Your Help. And he probably has headphones on, so he probably can't hear me.
No, I can hear you. I got
Time frames I suck at, but I would say it's probably from like from before we released it, probably like a year and a half of just making joints.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
If that sounds right. Am I right or am I wrong?
We did a song a week for 3 months.
Oh, wow.
I was way off.
Yeah, so.
You lost a toe, and then we finished the last 2 maybe a couple months after.
Yeah.
So you lost your toe while making this
The
collab.
Melting Pot.
So how did
Man.
you lose
Hey, we
the
should
toe?
have held it. We should have held the toe in the
irony,
fucking.
Yeah. Which toe is it, and how did you lose it?
All right. So luckily it ain't no Deion Sanders shit,
Right.
but I'm missing the middle toe of my left foot, and I like at the time.
Don't pull it out.
yeah,
I'll throw up.
I said, who said that?
Nah, it's healed. It looks normal now. Kind of.
Yeah.
Whatever. Like a Ninja Turtle foot.
Right.
But, so I used to do luxury cribs, like doing the countertops for houses.
okay.
Oh, I see.
So when the countertops come in, they come in raw, like it's a slab, like almost the size of this wall. It's
Yes,
a
sir.
6 foot tall, 8 foot long piece of marble from fucking Turkey.
500 pounds.
Yeah, nah, 900.
900. 900.
Felt it.
500 wouldn't have broke shit, but 1,000 broke it.
Man.
But so I was pretty much, getting off of going into a lunch shift, and one of my little homies was like, "Hey, I'm gonna move something and throw it on the CNC machine so that it could automatically run while we're gone eating." Yeah. I was like, "All right, fuck it." It normally takes 2 to move one of those from an A-frame. There's like 4 of them on each side. You got to go pick it up with the clamp, grab it with the chain on the forklift, take it to where you got to take it to. Our spot, you got to get out of one driveway, go around the building, and go to the back spot where we store everything, grab the piece, bring it back out, and bring it back to the machinery. It's a long little mission, low-key. And we happen to be moving some material that was weak, like a sandstone. It's not a marble. And we went to go grab it, and when he grabbed it, this fool fucking just like reversed all fucking crazy. And when he leveled out with the asphalt, it just swung on me, and it cracked like right around where the clamp that holds it. That shit just busted. I was like, oh shit. I didn't have time to react. But yeah, I ended up losing the toe. I went to the hospital that day and I ended up losing the toe. Like 2 weeks, they sent me home, which was fucking stupid. They sent me home because I'm like, my shit shot. And they're like, oh, well, now it's workman's comp shit. I was like,
that's got to be an eternal workman's comp.
Oh, it's horrible. The way it got dealt.
Man.
Nigga, I'm shook right now.
But nah, they got
whole toe.
I can see that.
I'm shook right now.
So
like,
dog, like you know where like your toes, the joint where it like meets your foot, all that shit is like where it crushed, like across the whole thing. So it dismantled all of them. Every toe was broken. It was
you broke all your toes?
all of them.
But
all
that
of them.
one you couldn't say.
Well, no. What happened was they sent me fucking home instead of
and then
fixing me.
Oh.
And so
that's
when I
how
was
it
at
got.
home, my lady was like, I'm gonna take the kids to the park to go hit a little bit and practice pitching because it was baseball season.
Yeah.
And I'm like, fuck, well, I don't want to just be here. Take me a chair and I'll fucking wheel out there and just sit. But when we got out of the house and into the sun,
This shit looked horrible.
She was like, let me just look at your toes. And she moved the fucking shit that had been covering me. And she's like, yo, that middle toe looked like it's turning blue. I was like, what do you mean? And I looked at it, and sure enough, that shit looked like a Smurf. I was like, fuck. So at that, I was like, you know what? I got to go to the hospital.
Yeah.
This shit don't look right.
Yeah.
All the other toes look normal.
Yeah.
Like color tone wise.
yeah.
And so when we get there, they're like, damn, like
We can't save it.
the arteries are cooked on that shit. Like so it was that middle toe, and then they cut like a part of my second toe, the inside. So like pretty much it's like getting frostbite.
Yeah.
Shit just turns black. They were like, oh, this shit might fall off in your bed. You might see it in your bed. And I was like,
Man, they got the worst bedside manner. My gosh, bro, that's ridiculous.
Might find it. You
so
might not.
I go home, whatever, and I'm chilling, and they ended up giving me some medication, dog. I took that shit, and that shit fucked me up. So one night, I finally took the medication, I woke up, I was like trembling, like ODing low key, and I don't take no medication, so that shit fucked me up. I went to the hospital thinking that I was getting the infection from the dying toe into my bloodstream. I was like, and then they ended up doing everything on the spot that night. And I'm like, why aren't you guys doing this shit?
Right.
2 days ago.
Yeah, like it's,
Bro,
they were waiting for like all the approvals and shit, so it was whack as
I'm
fuck.
mind fucked, bro.
Yeah.
Does that affect your balance?
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
It does. I wouldn't say it affects you as much as, you know what affects my balance? Isn't that toe's gone. What affected it is that from the fucking crush, like none of the joints go back to the same exact
spot.
Like imagine if you cut a piece of stone that made a perfect 90-degree angle and it butters up perfectly. And now some shit slams it and you gotta like rematch it.
Yeah.
It's not gonna be the same. So that's the issue. So like the issue is like with my big toe, like it's got like this weird play on it. So like if I want to lunge or if I want to get on a board or if I want to kick a ball, I feel that play. It's a little weird to explain.
It's like restriction.
Yeah.
But I didn't get to hear what did it. What did it?
It was a
marble
countertop
floor.
Slab.
It was a raw slab of a countertop.
1,000 pounds on the nigga toe.
Took straight off.
Yeah, so this fool fucking
Broke his shit.
He came out of a driveway wrong.
Okay.
Because normally you go out forward, like if you're tilting you know when those fools drive
the
lowered
angle.
cars,
Right.
And they go over a speed bump, like in a fucking Honda Civic,
Yeah.
and
It's
they
great.
go sideways.
Yeah.
Bro.
It's like you balance out.
Yeah.
That's how we would normally do it.
Right.
But this fool just reversed out the driveway.
Like he was driving a whip.
Yeah, so when he when he got out the angle and he hit the flat part, the asphalt, that shit just went.
Do you get bread for that shit?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I already did my.
I'm sure.
Oh, did you?
Man,
I did my.
you better be eternally compensated.
All right, cool. That's cool.
I
Because
just
you
had
lost
my
your
deficit.
toe.
Right?
But like, I'm over here like, God damn, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Oh,
no.
no.
Lost his fucking toe.
I ain't just eat it and just go back to
Right,
work.
right,
Okay.
I haven't worked in a year and like 4 months.
All right,
So that's
say
what I
what,
was
say
gonna
what,
ask.
say
It was
what,
on
say
the
what,
job.
say what,
I didn't
say
know.
what,
Okay.
say what.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Yeah.
when that happened, did you stop making the melting pot, or did you
I actually-
lock in and like?
I would get upset that it happened. So like, I'm not gonna front. Like the first week was tough. I was at home.
Yeah,
I
that
was
shit's
just
ass.
suffering from pain. But then I'd be like, what? Like these fools are at the studio. They're down the street.
I'ma go.
Like,
Yeah.
fuck that shit. If I'm gonna be in pain, I'm gonna go be in pain and go and try
Somewhere
and do
else,
something
right.
because
Yeah.
like,
Facts.
who am I to allow something that like
I couldn't control,
You know,
yeah.
you know what's so fucked up is they're the type of like, it's like these companies will look at you and be like, oh, he's got social medias. Co-workers know you're a rap or whatever. They're like, oh, go look, he's been doing this and that. You truly think that I'm going to allow myself to be depressed and stop all the momentum that I have because of this action that you guys caused? Fuck you guys. That would just put me worse in a hole.
Yeah.
So I'm going to still smile like nothing's happening, but just know you fuck me up.
Right.
Yeah.
That's what it
Absolutely.
is.
Facts.
But yeah,
that's
so
true.
I think we even performed one time, and I had the little fucking stupid ass scooter.
Oh, yeah.
Dog, I had to get
Oh,
on stage with
man.
Surrealist and
Yeah.
perform a joint with him and my homegirl Pookie Blow.
And
And
Scooter on
that
a
dog,
scooter.
Planet Asia's in there, Absol was in there. And I'm on a fucking scooter. So it's like, I
Sometimes
had
you
to
gotta
do-
get it done.
yeah, because
Right.
I wasn't gonna allow my doors that are open to close because of that shit.
Fucking
Show
facts.
goes on.
Yeah.
Show goes on.
You still gonna pay up though.
Right.
Hey, you gonna
right.
get some
Right.
out
If
of
any
Right.
motherfuckers are watching this shit, just know you gonna pay up because fuck you for what you did.
Facts.
Nah, for real.
So I don't think you watched the interview with Retro, and the only reason why I say that is because this nigga was killing G Funk. He was killing G Funk.
I know that, but see, whenever I get with Retro, I don't do any G-Funk. He just released a new project. It says "Happy Birthday Retro."
Yeah.
I did 2 joints on there. They're far away from G-Funk. I was dying with that shit, and I'm so happy that I never went to Retros and was like, hey,
Let's do G-Funk.
But see, I also like him because he has a distinct
Taste.
sound and
Sound.
taste
Yeah,
of what he does. And I love it.
Yeah.
So when I go with him,
You
it's
know what it
different
is.
from what I do.
Right, every
and
time.
I'm happy with that shit.
Yeah, that makes you
shit's
grow
And
as an
dope,
artist.
that's shout out to fucking OG David James too, because I would have never met Retro without
Through
OG
that.
David James.
Right.
Yeah. And they were doing dope shit. I'm like, you know what? I could probably spaz on a couple of these.
Right.
Of course.
Yeah.
Talk to us about Passing You By.
Passing You By is my favorite song off the Melting Pot.
Yeah.
That's me, my homegirl Ayana, who is the young lady who ended up doing the singing for us when I did the Requiem album release party. So
Saw visuals. I was mad at it. I couldn't be in the
she's
building.
fucking dope as fuck. We honestly just got a new joint that we did together. She's working on her first project,
Yeah.
working on it with Who's. Very, very amazing and talented woman. And I'm very excited to see what's to come for her.
Right.
But so she ended up doing the hook. I ended up getting my boy Wolfie Wolf, who is a part of the Dogs. He stays out in North Carolina, so he'd be tapping in every once in a
Yeah.
while, and he comes out here, and yeah, so it's us 3, and it's on some like G-Funk shit, on some, you know, we were just feeling hype on some DJ Quick shit, just feeling good, time to party, and yeah, that's my favorite
dope.
That's my favorite banger.
You say you don't make no party music. You say
Feed.
Start raging.
Ay, look, in too deep. You really want a piece of the G. I got your vision from a distance trying to pick up the key. It ain't simple. Your body looking smooth like a 6'4", baby pink cotton candy clean on the swivel. Be nimble. Cause pressing gets you lost around these halls trying to rock your little boat. Get eaten by the shark from the store. I knew it's what you wanted, so let's get this proceeded to grab it and back in the princess. She drifting. Told you now you never want to stop. Slow down, let me take you down on some bomb. Got you soaking. Roll the window down, got the smoking. Naked in the whip, still we coasting. Believe me, I'm locked in. God could have stopped this. Breaking that shit down to the 12, come knock in. That ass in my top 10, giving me top 10. Minutes in the leak and now she know what the bomb is, bitch.
Wondering if you notice if I pass you by. Baby, what you say if I stop by your way? Wondering if you wanna give me some of your time. I was trying to kick it with you tonight. Pull up on me for the first time. I'ma show you how I get down.
Knock, knock. Who is that? It's a hound at your door. Fresh from my Chuck Taylor to the curls in my throat. You know the only way for us to go is up. Benching 230, waiting for my hound to have my pup. What's up? It all started on the coolest day. We was kicking and smoking a blunt, thinking of what to say. Well. But do you know I got the game on lock? Chilling on a Chevrolet in my white two socks. She wanna know about the dog. Why not? Later down the blueprint, now she wanna hear me rock. Okay, can I just say you got me stunned the most? Conversations about the hour till we both got ghost. Off to lunch at the burger spot, then to her crib. Close the door, it ain't hard to tell what we did. Hit her with the Jimmy pipe, baby, dim the lights. Put her to sleep, now I guess I'm Mr. Right.
It's just sad vibe.
Man, that's a little vibe.
It's like
good
like,
barbecue joint.
Yeah, or like when we were kids and we were just mobbing to a spot and it's just you were with your homies and then you were just getting hype. You know, that's like listen for me personally. Like when I listen to like Tonight from Quick or some shit like that, like
that's the vibe.
Shit that just it sparks my whole energy up.
Right.
I'm excited to do a video for that because that shit.
That shit gonna be a vibe.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
I just want to do it right. I don't know, so I'm like pondering on the idea.
Gotta get a skating rink.
Gotta
get a skating rink.
For me personally, I was thinking of like like old Pac, like when they did the
How do you learn it?
No, when they're doing it in the mansion, when they're like water spraying all the girls.
Yeah,
but opposite of that,
around.
like opposite of that, to where it's like a little more luxurious, to like where the whips are pulling up, you get the couple coming out the car.
More like a
and
dinner.
then it's more like you in the house, like trying to rap to the girl, shit like that. But everybody's like G'd up. That's kind of like where I wanted to take it. But yeah, it's a banger.
Then goes in the ride with a G. And that brings the man back into the fold.
Mm-hmm.
When I hear those type of songs, I'm gonna be real. The only thing that pops in my mind is, I wish I was a fly on the wall during those sessions. Because I know, like, during certain songs that niggas be making, I know, like, when it's an anthem time, when a nigga makes a nigga anthem, it's lit. Like, the studio session is lit.
Yeah.
So I just want to imagine, like, when y'all make y'all anthems for y'all people, I just want to be a fly on the wall like that.
Yeah.
So talk about that session, talk about that song and everything about it.
Ride with a G, originally, I wanted it to have an extra feature on it. Shout out to Metaphor. I think that when I wrote the song, I kind of wrote it with him in mind, with that style of how he raps, which I don't know. Somehow I felt like mentally I was able to embody his steez and the funk at the same time. We ended up sending it to Pookie, and Pookie fucking body. I love her verse so much. I feel like sometimes people feel a beat and they get more involved with it or more in tune with it than you might have when you first heard it. Or I was in a different mind space, but I fucking love her hook on that shit. She killed that shit. But the session was dope. We originally did it just dolo, just me and Who's. And then we shipped it out via email. You know what I'm saying? And the rest is history. But I wish that there would have been more to the story to be like, hey, you know what? I brought them into the spot. We all kicked it. It might feel that way. Yeah. But it wasn't that gnarly. I'm going to be real with you. The video, though, was gnarly. The video was dope. I had a great time filming the actual video that we did. Pookie ended up coming from LA out here to El Rio. We filmed at one of my homies' cribs, and we just barbecued, had a good time, had all our closest people with us, and it ended up being a beautiful moment. Yeah. Who's is nasty with the beats, dog?
Who's is?
I throw a fire to the sky, let them see what we on. They wanna ride with a G like me. We on the fly in a mice, catch a gleam in the smoke. They wanna ride with a G like me. I throw a fire to the sky, let them see what we on. They wanna ride with a G like me. We on the fly in a mice, catch a gleam in the smoke. They wanna ride with a G like me. See, it's that West Coast cadence demonstrating all that made us. Gold chain slang conversations on the paper. Been bold with the moves, draft pick like a Laker. OX to the death, but we moving out in Asia. On lock for rotation, internationally banging. Resuscitating haters with the boppers we be making. Gang signs turn into dollar signs in fashion. Money over everything, regardless where we landed. 212s in the trunk, got you shaking like a Diddy dance. Special delivery, expressway, city chance. 2210, Snow Ave, learn my G waist. Corey in the day.
That was before Diddy was
all
gonna
good.
do
It's all
it.
good.
Don't judge me. Don't judge me. I don't support the diddler.
The diddler.
That
shit funny.
Place you can imagine.
Know what fire to the sky, let them see what we on. They wanna ride with a G like me. We on the fly in the mics, catch a gleam in the smoke. They wanna ride with a G like me. I know what fire to the sky, let
I'm gonna tell you right now, if you guys ever go look up Pookie Blow, go look up My Bitch.
My bitch. That's one of the ones.
Be like me. Yeah, these motherfuckers really trying to
Be like me.
Speculating on spectators to see like me. On the mic since the youngin' like G.I. West side funk mob till I D.I.E. P-double-O-K-I-E. Yeah, they be letting shit slide, but no, not me. Habitual grudge holder. I'm a soul toaster. Mud thrower with an ice cold shoulder. The sinister sister. Putting missile holes through the misters who try to twist her. Yeah, they be having me fucked up, but I'm good in the hood. Like a backwood that's packed good. Yeah, baby, I'm that good. Never focused on the should, coulds, and woulds. I'm already entertained by the dudes that I does. Niggas segregated by cuz in the blood, but I'm here, feet planted like he a nigga was
I know what fire to the sky, let them see what we on. They wanna ride with a G like me. We on the fly in the mics, catch a gleam in the smoke. They wanna ride with a G like me. I throw a fire to the sky, let them see what we on. They wanna ride with a G like me. We on the fly in the mics, catch a gleam in the smoke. They wanna ride with a G like me.
Cigarettes and gun smoke, paint up with the cutthroats. Raised off the model, get the guala, shorty, fuck
Cyril's
hoes.
body
45,
bag,
9,
this shit.
22s, we been dumped those. Fuck the internet, we getting at these haters up close. It is funky in the hood, so I stay tripping. Still on my toes, it's on sight when these lanes slipping. Hitting switches on the Lincoln when we lane switching. Seen it spinning on the road, yo, we stay dipping. All wax, we blow checks, step on hoes next. Toe text, bullet hoes left with a faux step. Friendly face, fuck that, they could all get it. Take my hat from off my head, now they all sweating. Ride with a G who smooth sliding on beats. Even my bitch with a check and burn, smiling at me. Still a G from out the mud, I could never change. Mama raised the thug, treating blocks like a shooting range.
Yeah, he slid that bitch.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, he slid
Body
that
did.
bitch.
Fucking crazy.
Yeah, so this is nasty, dog.
Hey, man.
Like, it don't matter
That's one
what
of the
type.
ones for me out here.
It don't matter like what type of beat you get Cyrilus on. Like, this fool ends up bringing the proper energy,
I
the
agree.
proper bar game for it. I've heard him on some shit. Like, I've never personally done that route. Actually, Black Roses on the Melting Pot was kind of close, like the closest I got to it. But like on some like Puya Suicide Boy shit,
That's my shit, bro.
Cyrilus
Kills
fucking
that
him
shit.
and Suchi kill that
Bro,
style,
that's that
bro.
shit, bro.
They're nasty with that
I gotta
shit.
hear that.
That's one person I've always like since I got out here when I was hearing about y'all. Like I've always, I like Cyrilus and
Yeah,
I
man.
like his vibe and I like your vibe. It's like y'all boys just be sliding in
Thank
a
you,
different
man.
way.
Thank
it's
you.
just hard out of these areas because you have to do stuff different so that you can set yourself apart from all the other stuff.
Yeah.
Because you can do all the same stuff that's in your city, but when you can do the other stuff,
Yeah.
it helps you get out.
Yeah, when you're able to harness a little bit of all of it, you'll be
good.
good. You'll be all right.
Something that gets looked past, and this is something I noticed, and maybe it's just because I'm gonna notice some shit like this. But you have a lot of black pop culture references in a lot of your songs. Like a lot of them. Like Boondocks. You talk about the starting five. You talk about just sports in general. Just a lot of references.
Oh, you ain't know I'm black?
Some niggas don't appreciate it, but they take from it.
You know, low key, I gotta get a shout out to my homie Bear's mother, Dimitri. Ichi is what I used to call her. So when my parents were gone, and I told you that my best friend is still my best friend now to this day at 4 years old, I would just walk across the street. So like their daycare raised me as a baby. and the daycare was all the kids were
Everything,
black.
yeah.
Everybody was black. You had maybe one little fat, chubby, white newborn baby, and then you had a couple mixed babies. And then I would just walk, like I'm home alone or with my little brothers. We walking across the street to go get into fuck shit. Go
Right.
play 64.
Right,
Go play in the
right.
backyard. And so I honestly I got put on game by the shit that I was raised by, and I'm happy about
lit,
it.
bro.
You know,
That's right.
yeah. We all a melting pot.
Right.
That's right, bro.
Facts.
Yes,
culture
sir.
shit, facts.
Yes, sir.
Down by the ocean. As I said before, you are in a class of your own when it comes to just storytelling. Ain't no way you can. I don't believe. Ain't no way you could have lived all this shit. Now you could have.
No,
I just don't believe you could have.
I just listened to the stories told before me. You know?
Yeah, I mean, so talk to us about Down by the Ocean. By the way, that's my favorite song on the Pulse project.
Yeah, I think that's who's favorite too. Down by the Ocean is a history class, but at the same time, what I've encountered and witnessed some in my own time, you know, just when you can like stereotype your friend circle a little bit of like what we all kind of dealt as like me being first generation Mexican or American here, first generation American here. My parents ran through the desert, you know, crossed their borders, did what they had to do. A lot of times you look at the cycle that usually follows it would be like parents come over here for a better life, kids fuck it all up and do some dumb shit and don't end up meeting the expectations of why they came over here in the first place. That kind of plays part in it. Kind of plays part to why Oxnard is special to me and why it's called what it's called, Chicas, and how that's involved, and you know the drug trafficking in the 1920s with Al Capone,
Right.
and why everything kind of meshes the way it meshes. So that's really what Down by the Ocean is for me.
I see. Cool.
Then y'all ended the project with a throwback 2000s joint.
No, play that shit.
I'ma play it.
No.
I hate that shit.
Don't play it or play it.
I be doing the same shit.
I wasn't gonna play it. I wasn't gonna play it. But if you want me to play it, I'll play it.
He's gonna tell you to play it because when I was recording it, he's like, "Where your mom, man? Suck it up, pussy." I was like, "Fuck, all right,
It's
man."
the type of songs. Bro.
Yeah.
Certain songs.
So
make me
I
feel
ain't
like
scared
that.
of shit, so fuck it.
So who's produced it? Who's produced
I'm
that joint?
trembling right now.
I got you. I'll play it. I'm gonna save you, my nigga. But who's produced
Who's
it?
made everything?
Oh, fire.
That's
Yeah.
tight.
Shout
That's
out
tight.
Who's, man.
Yes,
Shout out
sir.
Who's
Yes,
is
sir.
a fucking genius.
Who's went crazy?
Yeah,
bro.
yeah.
Who's went
If I
crazy?
was a girl, who's?
Yeah, I was a girl.
That shit funny, bro.
Last question I have on this album.
Uh-huh.
Favorite song on the project versus favorite session on the project.
Damn, that one's gnarly. You know what? I'm gonna have to say the last song might have been one of my favorite sessions because it made me feel so weird, so uncomfortable, so out of my zone that it made me realize, like, sometimes you do really. You can say you don't give a fuck, but when you're put in a pressure situation,
You give a fuck.
you give a fuck.
Absolutely.
This one really told me, let it go.
Yeah.
And he taught me that, you know, and
dope.
that session was special to me. And favorite joint will be Pass You By because I love Ayana's delivery and her voice, and I love Woofy Woof that spazzes on it. And all in all, I can play that song anywhere that I'm going, and it makes me happy. So,
That's cool, man. Yeah, that's cool.
All right, it's game time. You ready?
Yeah.
Play black and white. Very simple game.
Okay.
This side of the coin or this side of the coin. Just pick the choices I give you.
Okay.
One or the other.
Okay.
All right. Kanye or Pharrell. And you
Kanye.
can give why
You can
also if you want.
elaborate,
You can
yeah.
elaborate if you want.
Kanye.
Snoop or Ice Cube.
Snoop.
Be Real or Burner.
Be Real.
Mac Miller or Wiz.
Mac Miller.
Most Def or Method Man.
Most Def.
Ashton Bronson or Tech Nine.
Action Bronson.
Oxnard or Ventura.
Oxnard.
Damn, I be spelling shit wrong. I'm gonna skip that one. MF Doom or Lupe?
MF Doom.
Madlib or your boy? Alchemist.
Alchemist.
That's tight.
I seen that. That's why
That's tight. That's tight.
I typed
Alchemist.
it in there. Boondocks or Family Guy?
Fuck.
That's a
I'm gonna
hard
say
one.
Family Guy.
Yes,
G.
sir.
Family Guy's lit.
Underground.
It's because Boondocks stopped too soon.
True.
Facts.
They could have been going.
They
and
could
still
have been going for ages, and I would have been probably
sir.
said Boondocks.
Facts.
God
They
damn.
missed so much shit that we
You
went
know
through.
niggas can't keep shit. You
They
know
don't,
niggas
they don't
can't
let
keep
niggas
shit.
keep shit.
You know niggas don't do shit right. You know exactly why.
That's crazy.
Because Bob's Burgers is still here cracking.
Yeah,
Right.
but I'm gonna just say
Right.
Family Guy because longevity
Family
is
Guy.
Yeah.
They
Crazy.
sliding like some Simpsons.
Okay,
shit.
then Family Guy or Simpsons?
Shit. Family Guy.
Yes,
Because
sir.
it's better. Because it's better.
Yep.
Yeah, Family Guy's
Underground
more
Star or Megastar?
I don't know the difference.
Drake, Kendrick,
Underground
or
Star. Underground Star.
MF Doom.
Underground Star.
Yep.
Underground Star.
Pizza or cheeseburgers?
Pizza.
NWA or G Unit?
NWA.
Giving or receiving?
Giving.
Movies or shows?
Shows.
Love or loyalty?
Love.
Facing fears or facing vulnerability?
Facing fears.
Being right or being happy?
Being happy.
Would you rather have more time or more money?
More time.
Drowning or burning to death?
I'm a drown.
Peace or power?
Peace.
And the last question for me of the day, and elaborate, more knowledge or more wisdom?
Man.
At a younger time, I probably would have said more knowledge. At this point in time in my age, more wisdom because I hope that I can help. Aside from everything that I've already personally felt, I think that more knowledge would be selfish at this point in time for me, and personally where I'm at. So more wisdom because I hope that any person, whoever
Pass it on.
tends to come up to me or ask me a certain question, that I will somehow find the right words to fuel them in the right direction.
Fair enough.
Give that a round of fucking
Fair
applause.
enough. Fair enough.
All right, so you get to play one last song for the squad. It's on you. Pick it, and it has to be your song or something you're a part of. It's on
Message
you.
in a bottle.
Got you.
Before you play that, can I ask one question?
Go
really
ahead.
quick?
Yes.
Where did you get the name Inzom from?
Insomnia for short. I switched the S to a Z because I'm a graffiti writer and I didn't like the way the S looked.
Cool.
So if I would have called myself Insomnia, the S probably would have looked okay, but Insomnia sounds stupid. So I went with Inzom, and I feel like the Z balanced out both sides of the lettering.
Right.
That shit hard.
So
And it makes niggas say Zom. Like,
Yep.
everyone calls me Zom.
Zom.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then my middle name's Hasiel, which is with a Z. So it just...
I see.
Yeah, I don't know.
Okay.
It just felt right.
Cool. Cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
But yeah, I used to never sleep and I'd write all my songs.
Right.
Think of your life past.
this is my favorite song on the project, by
Imagine
the
that your
way.
body
Mine too.
has returned to the Mother Earth, and that your soul has been set free, and your loved ones are gathered around you.
I have her ashes right here. in this spot.
Wow.
Yeah.
I just got one of those for a close friend. That's
Yeah.
crazy.
I think I'll start this verse with an apology to every soul that shaped me in my adolescence. Forgive me if I ever swore I knew it all to dodge a lecture. Countless blessings on my block of lessons, not even on my senses, swearing that I knew the roads in all directions. Playing checkers like I'm playing chess. You lack the common sense and knowledge of thyself and all that orbits death. My chin high was letting my nuts hang. I slip, slide, loving the rushed pace. Till the needle skipped the beat one day. A locomotive high speed rolling off the beams into a sea of pain. I'm drowning, I'm slowly drowning in my every past decision that would lead the way. And now my karma seeks a place, a home. They say that misery loves company. She shot me off my high horse cause I can feel me plummeting. Suffering from wounds deep, no doctor's gonna save me. Guess the universe will make me pay the day you took my baby. I'm sorry. tell me, do you know this feeling? This unfulfilling and instant regret. It's like the righteous boot of God was pressed to my neck. She's weighing down and turning it, as if to put the embers from a cigarette out, crushing my guilt with a step. Oh, how I wish the tables turned. So many nights I sat here crying, wishing I was in that urn, roles reversed. So my children had the mother they deserved, and just a kiss of death for me for never figuring my turns off the deep end. Drove us to the darkness with my thinking, when I should have been the brightest light dancing on the beacon. I've been yelling at the skies, I'm sure the stars can hear me weeping. Mad at you, they're mad at me, they're mad you'll never get to hear this is true. My people, please be wise about the lays you take, and keep in mind that those that love you might just take the same. I coincide with what I've done and the mistakes I face, and in my eyes you'll find the truth beside the bed I made. I'm sorry.
I usually don't ask one more question because I already said I have my last question for the day. But I have to ask because I've been trying to figure out a way all day to ask the question that I want to ask. So no one can, I think the people in general, we try to relate to tragic situations someone goes through so that we can try to give that person a sense of like the other side, right? I don't think subconsciously we know why we do it.
Yeah,
I think that's what my personal belief is. I think we just do it so that we can be sympathetic to the person, and so the person understands that they're not by themselves.
Yeah,
so I lead that to say, like, my situation isn't the same as yours, right?
Right.
As far as losing somebody that you thought you were going to spend the end of your life with, like actually making that commitment, but I was in the same situation, right?
Yeah.
And one thing that helped me get through that was my girl, and realizing that I could love someone more than I thought I could love someone. You know what I mean? And so when I hear your songs and I hear your story and I hear what you're talking about, and kind of we're going through the podcast, and it took me a minute to realize wife versus girlfriend. It took me a minute to understand the thought process. I kind of want to just focus. I know it's the end of it, but I kind of just want to focus the quickness on the girlfriend. And I want to ask you, how was it? Because I know she has to be this powerful, strong person to be your rock, to be there while you're going through all that. And because mine is from that's how I feel about mine. So how is that relationship? How did that relationship guide you to where you felt like, all right, I'm ready to put my entire everything into this album and it be the end, like you said earlier,
the end all,
the dead of everything. And so what made you feel like, all right, the last song, everything about everything, I can move on? How did she help you with that?
I truly don't have, like, there was no planning shit. Like, it genuinely all fell into place the way it fell into place timing wise. I would say that in her existence of young, those are seals and sea lions?
Those are seals.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Those are the homies. Nah, I be visiting them over here by the runner room. I'm gonna say what's up.
Shout out to that.
Shout out to them. I'm gonna see you later. With my lady, I feel that her experiences prepped her for the love that I brought. And my experience prepped me for the love that she needed. Like, okay, so say for example, like with my girl, a lot of her relationships, when you look for love as a young teen or in your young adulthood, a lot of shit, people sell you a wolf ticket. You could be looking for it, one, in all the wrong places. Two, it's shit everybody confront, and then you end up alone after a certain amount of time. And, all she required was someone to really give her love. As to where when she met me, on the flip side, I only knew love. I didn't experience other people. I didn't experience going through waves of shit or trying to front for girls or trying to play some part. all I knew was that I loved what I loved, and I loved it heavily. So I think that when the two found each other, one, I think she knew that I was broken, but I think she understood why. And I think she put herself in my shoes and realized, like, damn, this shit is difficult.
Yeah.
But it was like finding, it's like finding a fucking lost puppy, like a stray dog. Like, she was able to nourish me through that shit and to see me in, like, maybe, I haven't even asked her, but maybe the craziest light of, like, I know what this man really is. And he's going through this at this present moment, but I'm going to see him through it. So I owe her a lot for that shit, because her words were really a lot of the times why I'm still here. Because there was a lot of times I didn't want to, but, even with kids or not, like, I just didn't give a fuck, because my kids didn't exist because of my relation with my wife. My wife is all I knew. We grew up together. We felt together. Everything. So having a whole part ripped from you and having someone to come in and understand it and maybe not know the outcome. I don't know if she said, like, oh, for sure I'm gonna be with this fool or not. She could have just
I could be
there.
nursing him up for no reason.
Yeah, she could have probably had some fool that be splurging on her and doing, all this crazy shit. Right. I don't know why she stayed. All I can tell you is that I'm so grateful.
Yeah.
Like, if it wasn't for Diana, I would not have a piece in me right now of seeing shit through. I might have not seen shit through. And there was a lot of times where she just held me. Like, literally, that's it. I don't like, there's not really no crazy thing to tell you other than, like, when I cried and yelled and screamed, she was just there to hold me. And for that, I owe her everything. And it just made me a doper person. And now we're able to logically build and see, hope for a better day and build a new family. And whatever comes from it. But I'm fully invested in her.
I bet it won't be lose no more toes.
Right.
Hell no. We chilling, baby. If I lose another toe, I don't know how it would happen. It might be from a mic falling over or some shit, but I ain't stepping back into no warehouse.
I feel you, dog.
Let's give a round of applause for my brother Inzom, man.
I appreciate y'all. Thank you guys for having me,
For
man.
sure. Man, last plugs, anything you want to say before we get on out of here?
You know what? Shout out to all my homies. Shout out to my lady. Shout out to my kids. Shout out to who's here. Cyrillis, Chivo, Suchi, Ayana, AOG, Miggy, everybody who's just been involved with any music shit, Greenhouse Studios. But yeah, I'm very happy to be here.
Yes, sir.
And thank you guys for having me on here. It means a
Of
lot.
course, brother. Thank you for coming, man. Thank you for taking time today. I really appreciate it.
We got new shit cooking, new shit coming. I think we got a Stolen Ride from the Dogs. So you guys get a new Dogs joint that's coming on the 17th of January, I believe.
Right on.
We're excited.
And then from there, we'll see what's up.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Right
Yes, sir.
Yeah, much love.
We're the Iceberg Lounge. And before we get out of here, I want to leave y'all with some very special words. Wake up every day and strive for perfection. And when you fall short, because you definitely will fall short, wake up and do it again. We're the Iceberg Lounge, and we'll see y'all next week. Big Bird.
Big Bird.